Hello everyone, my name is Jessica and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 young kids. So what that means and why I always start off by saying that is to let you know that I just get out content when I can. Being a stay-at-home mom and having kids as young as mine, my schedule is pretty unpredictable. Predictable in some ways, as in I know when my husband has off unless he works overtime because inflation. But I do my best with what I have. Yes, I can be more disciplined and I'm definitely trying to do that. So this week is my hope to get out 2 videos. I am a commentary channel. I like to commentate on things that I find interesting. My history has been a lot of like true crime, and then I cover some influencers as well. In today's video, as you know by the title and thumbnail already, I'm covering the influencer Jacquelyn Paul. She goes under the account Wren and Jacquelyn on TikTok, and like everywhere else before it was just Wren Eleanor. She did it after her daughter, but she is a single mom who makes content just basically featuring like 99% just her daughter. And I want to get into it because it's really disturbing and alarming, and I did a little deep dive on her and I found out as much information as I possibly could. I just want to bring light to this, and I think that child exploitation is wrong, and I'm gonna go over a couple of states in the US. I'm in Canada, but since most of these influencers are American, I'm gonna go into some legislation that's happening in the US, which is great. Things are moving in the right direction. I believe 2024 is a really big year for this, and yeah, I just want to get into this. And it's just all my opinion. It doesn't mean everything is fact, but I think as parents, we have to do our best to protect our children. Once you know, you can't unknow, you know? So let's get into this video. Okay, so you may be wondering, who are Wren and Jacquelyn anyways? So Jacquelyn is a 27-year-old stay-at-home mom who is single, a single stay-at-home mom who lives in Nebraska. She had her daughter in 2020, started a TikTok account, and then it just like quickly blew up. And it just seems like innocent when you think about it. Just like a mom who's just sharing content, you know, typical mommy vlogger style. But the problem here is that her content like fully, I shouldn't say fully, but like 99% revolves around her daughter, Wren. And Wren is almost 5 years old. When she started this, like I said, it was when her daughter was a baby. And she really blew up, like not instantly, but like she did get a ton of views. And then the thing that gains traction is her daughter drinking from straws, eating pickles, eating hot dogs, a lot of phallic shaped items. And the thing that's really extra creepy, on top of like, there's a bunch of layers of creepiness, honestly. But the thing that makes it extra creepy is the fact that, in my mind, is that Jacquelyn doesn't really talk in the background. It's like, she says some things sometimes.
What are you really good at?
Coloring.
What makes you proud? That's a good one. Because sometimes it's hard for you. What makes you feel happy?
Playing on the bounce house.
What makes you feel loved?
Getting new houses.
What makes you feel sad?
Crying.
What are some ways that you're different from other people?
Playing.
No, what makes you different?
Filters.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
For Halloween?
No, when you're big. What do you want to be?
I go to the fair. Get cotton candy.
When you're big?
Yep.
So you want to work at the fair?
No, I want to eat at the fair.
If you were a monster, what would you eat?
A lot of food.
What kind of food?
Chocolate. Chocolate monster.
What is the silliest sound you can make? If we went on a trip, where would you want to go?
Go to the beach. On an airplane.
Have you ever been to the beach?
Nope.
If you could fly, where would you go?
Fly up the sky, up the mountain.
Who is your favorite person?
You.
What does it feel like when I hug you?
Feels warm.
It feels warm. Are you gonna get married when you're big?
Yeah. I'm gonna marry you.
I'm your mom.
I want you to marry me.
Are you TikTok famous?
No.
but it's just like filming her daughter. You know, it's just, it has this like eerie feeling to me that makes me really uncomfortable. Like I've shared before, I'm not for family vlogging, child exploitation. I liked watching some family vloggers, not the typical ones. But my mind changed after having kids. And I think if you're a good parent, like I said in my intro, once you know, and you should make some changes. And in a future video, I'm going to share changes that I made just like in my own life. Being a new mom, especially a mom in 2020, like I empathize with people who especially became moms during the pandemic. So yeah, she started this TikTok account and now has 17 million followers on TikTok, and they have an Instagram, but her Instagram's not as like big and popular. The thing that is like the problem with this is that right now her comments are turned off. Apparently, according to the Reddit on her, it's not a fan Reddit, it's a Reddit just simply calling Jacquelyn out. She would often get a ton of comments. Like before, she'd get comments from like men commenting on Wren like being cute and mature for her age and like all these sick comments. And it's like, as a parent, once you start getting those comments, the smart thing to do is to make some changes. And people would stitch her, and then it'd be like creepy guys on one side and then Wren on the other. And they're like, like they're just like really creepy, really creepy. She claimed, so she came out with an apology video. So in 2022, Jacquelyn came out with an apology video because this is when she got like a lot of heat.
Behind TikTok account of Wren Eleanor is under huge criticism right now, as the internet is blaming her for endangering her 3-year-old daughter on the platform for financial gain.
The mother of this TikToker that everyone was concerned for has finally spoken out. So for those who don't know, there was a lot of controversy surrounding this TikToker Wren Eleanor. Basically, people are searching for very inappropriate videos of her. There were rumors that the daughter appeared on inappropriate websites.
So I found a video where her mom put something in her pants, and you cannot tell me her mom doesn't realize that she's exploiting her own child. What's that? Tell me.
And for me, her apology video is BS. Her apology video, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, so I'm sorry, I always do this. I won't get too far ahead. But anyways, her daughter does a ton of content. So a lot of eating content, a lot of this is what I dress, what my mom dresses me as, and what my grandma dresses me as. And just like a lot of like kid content. Now, the one that was most disturbing to me, if I can find it, I'll insert it here and blur what I can. Maybe I'll just kind of describe to you what it is, I guess, and kind of have it blurred in the background. I'll see what I can do in editing. It is like, she says, when mom can't get privacy or something like that. And she gives her daughter things. Jacquelyn gives her daughter Wren things and sees how she does with those things, what she does with them. So she gives her perfume at the beginning, and then Wren puts it on her wrist. She gives her like lip gloss. And then the nasty thing in my mind, I mean, in any normal human's mind, this should be disgusting. She gives her a razor, and she proceeds to put the razor in a private area. And I know we as women, not everyone, but like a lot of people do that there in their own, obviously. But as I shared in my intro, I'm a stay-at-home mom. My children have never seen me do anything like that. Even in one of the things, she hands Wren a tampon, and Wren's legs are wide open, and she is, showing where it goes. Like I said 2 seconds ago, I'm not laughing at Wren doing that. I'm laughing, like I'm going, like exclaiming kind of, and like that I just shared with you many times in my channel. I've shared this many times. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 young kids, really young, right? I get no privacy, but my kids have never seen me when I'm on my period, inserting anything, putting anything on. Nothing. Maybe my toddler saw me in postpartum when I had my newborn, whatever, putting on my diaper, because, you wear a diaper after postpartum because there's a lot of stuff coming out, like you're healing, obviously, whether you've had a vaginal birth or not. And that's the only time. Okay, that's the only time. And even then, I do my best to cover myself so that it doesn't see anything, Not that I'm pro teaching your children what the real names of things are, where things are, all that sort of thing. But there's a line to have your child see that. There's a difference between when they are becoming a woman and they need instruction on that, because like I was not given instruction on that. It was like the worst. And I know a lot of people in my generation weren't, but there's a difference between those two stages in life. Like a toddler does not need to see that right now. They don't need to. And it's not that you're like shunning them from them and like you get like, I get no privacy. Okay, guys, I get none. So I think I can vehemently speak on this and that it is so wrong, because I've seen comments. Sorry, my lips are so dry. I'm in Canada and it's terrible here. I've seen comments before, people like sticking up for Jacquelyn, like, oh, we as moms we get no privacy, but you can use your brain cells too and not do that stuff in front of your children, because they shouldn't see that. They don't know the context of what you're doing. And what if they see someone else do that they shouldn't see you do that? And then it leads to other things in my mind. And yes, I'm somewhat cynical, but I'm also a realist. Okay. I'm a nice person. Like, I'm also like, I'm tender. I'm firm when I need to be. Okay. But I'm also a realist and I'm a hopeful person. Okay. I'm going off on this tangent. This is how my brain works. Okay. There's no excuse for this whatsoever. None. And then I know some people will go in the argument of, well, people are sick and twisted to think other things, like especially with eating stuff and whatever. Well, I came across Mom Uncharted. I know a lot of people know about her, but she shared this video. I can't find the original, so I have to share Mom Uncharted's video, but of a docuseries on which people who do things to children who are evil and disgusting and nasty, they get off on hearing children eat food. Okay, so I'm going to insert what I can so you guys can see that.
The sound of babies and toddlers eating fruit. Yeah, it's sick, but it's the truth. Here's a clip from a documentary in which they are exploring a rehabilitation facility, and they discuss the content they show to these to see if they are stimulated or not, and where they are in the process of recovery.
Nude. So they're clad in bathing suits, and it's suggestive, such as playing in a pool, playing with water, a hose, eating fruit, things like that.
So that video has made its rounds. We know in general, opening your mouth and eating things, like even seeing a grown woman do that, like if she were to like eat a pickle, you'd be like, okay, like what are you trying to do here? But to get a toddler to do that, and like, this mom is not innocent. It's no longer like she doesn't know what she's doing. She's doing the best for her kid, trying to be a stay-at-home mom, earn some income, blah, 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 blah. Like, that time has come and gone. It is now 2024.
Has her laying in her bed in a dress or a t-shirt. She has her pull up her t-shirt with this stuffed animal and has her put the stuffed animal on her under the blanket. This is the caption. Just feeding her kitty. It's not just one video. It's not just two videos where they're kind of iffy and we're like, hey, like, do you just want to like think about this? Like, watch her video back. This is on numerous occasions. She knows how we feel about it and she's continuing to play into it. And that's fine when you're an adult, but we're talking about a baby child who cannot consent and one day is going to grow up and realize what her mother has done to her. This is a real thing. Parents exploit children through the internet nowadays, and they think it's fine because nobody's actually touching their child. Nobody's in their presence. Nobody can physically hurt. If it's just through the screen, they justify that as it being okay. It gets worse. Posted a photo of her daughter in bed again, sleeping in some sort of dress, and then she puts drained as the caption. She is making her act as if she is an adult. This is the problem. If this was the only questionable video, there would be no problem. It's what she's created of the account. It's what she wants people to see to get the attention, to get the fame, to get the money, and she's doing it by exploiting her daughter. Look at her G's. This is only one comment. I can't even show you the worst ones. People will write vile things on here of what they will do to that sweet girl, and her mother sees this. She says it on the video. She says, any inappropriate comments I see, I I delete them, I block them.
Years, we're going to be seeing videos of that little girl, Wren Eleanor, saying stuff like, get ready with me while I talk about how my mother exploited me on the internet when I was a child. I feel for that little girl every time I see that she is brought up. And I don't know what it is, but whenever I see videos of the mom, looking in her eyes, it feels so soulless. Like it's like a blank stare, like something is off energetically there. And that video she did last year where she was like reading off of a script, it made me so uncomfortable. Something is not right.
And this is now taking up heat again for right reasons, because this mom is disgusting. So this mother is absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. You cannot say that you can post something like that and it's not going to get in the wrong hands, you know? And I just think it's so wrong. And as a parent, you should be protecting your child. And I will not defend anyone like this. She knows what she's doing. And, you know, at the beginning, people were like, okay, you know, like I said already, kind of feeling bad in terms of like, yeah, she's a mom, she's trying to make income, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, okay, let's call her out. She gave her BS apology, which I'm going to insert her apology here for you guys to see. Okay, look at her apology and let me know. Let me know if you guys think that she is remorseful in any way or knows her actions.
The past few months have been incredibly distressing, and I've learned a lot. What started out as a hobby to make a digital scrapbook for my daughter Wren grew into an interesting role for me as a single stay-at-home mom. Wren is my #1 priority, and her upbringing and safety are my top job 24 hours a day. This account has allowed me to provide for my daughter and to set aside money for her future. I'm not sure how this conspiracy theory got started and spiraled out of control. What you need to know is that no law enforcement agencies I conferred with, including the FBI, have found any proof that my daughter's likeness appears on inappropriate websites. These rumors are 100% false. If anyone has real, tangible proof, please contact me immediately. My email appears within my TikTok profile. What is true, Wren is a happy, healthy 3-year-old. The videos we film together for my account a couple of hours a week are fun and lighthearted. TikTok analytics show that my followers are 76.8% female. That's more than 13 million females, including lots of moms. And I thank you for watching and for your interest in my family. What baffles me is how rumor spreaders express such passionate concern for my daughter, yet law enforcement has found zero real proof about these untrue allegations. Creating videos talking about scurrilous rumors that my 3-year-old daughter appears on isn't proof. Repeating false information over and over will never convert into fact. Doing so is wrongfully smearing my daughter's name and unjustly damaging my reputation. What I've learned from this ordeal, I realize I should have spent more time reading the community's comments. With millions of followers, this is no easy task. If these false rumors have prompted parents to rethink how they let their kids be involved in social media, that is a good thing. Honor and act upon your personal decisions, but please, do not mom shame me because we have different parenting styles. I look forward to making more videos with my daughter, and I am committed to making changes when I turn my account comments back on. I will filter them to remove offensive comments and report and block accounts as necessary. Online safety precautions that will remain in effect include disabling the ability to download or duet our videos. Stopping sexual predators is a job for law enforcement. The TikTok community, including parents, can play an active role in this effort by forwarding real evidence to help the authorities catch the creeps. Let me say it again. If you have real evidence, please contact me. I would do the same for your child. Thanks for listening, and you can read the full version of my statement on my Instagram account, TikTok Wren. The link is in my bio.
Okay, so as you saw there, she's not taking responsibility. She's like blaming other people. Mom shaming. This is not mom shaming, okay? And if it is mom shaming, good. Shame, shame, shame. You know, like that thing, shame, 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 whatever that was from.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
She needs the shame. She needs it. She needs it because she is not hearing it. So that's why I'm making this video and deep diving into that. It is not just the responsibility of Jacquelyn. She's a bad person, but there's a lot more to play here and I really need to share more. So I'm going to share more as I get into this video, but this is wrong. This is not just a mother making an income. She got, like I was saying, she got called out. And then now that she's been called out, she should make the changes. But instead she gives that BS apology and then hasn't made the changes, but just occasionally turning off comments. She knows what she's doing. She should delete everything and go into what her profession is. And if she's even doing that, I don't know if she's doing that, but okay, that's my heated part, talking about the content. We don't need to share too much of the content. You want to go find it, but it's wrong, okay? She's disgusting. She's wrong. Now I'm going to get a little bit more into Jacquelyn. So you see all this and you think, well, maybe this is the only way she can make money. And, you know, when I saw her videos, okay, I'm going to show this part. So when I saw her videos, I was thinking, like, just like looking at the background, it looks like maybe she lives in like a condo or an apartment, you know, single mom, living in a small place, whatever. But then I did some analysis, okay? I was like, okay, could that be just like a bedroom? It kind of looks like it's just a bedroom that she kind of put a couch in it and made it look like it is just an apartment. You know, so she has this facade that she's a single mom. So then I went back and looked at old videos and there's this video. She has a lot of videos. So I'm not like outing where they live, but she has a lot of videos posting the outside of her house and Wren's standing outside there, like when she does her grandma outfits and stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. Getting to the grandma outfits thing. People have thought that the grandma outfits thing is false. That like she just like does like, look at my daughter in these really cute, like they are cute, but she's dressing her too old for her age, like too revealing outfits. But like, look at these trendy outfits my daughter wears. And then look at the outfits her grandma puts her in, which is like Minnie Mouse and bright colored and blah, blah, blah. Like those actually came across my For You page years ago. And I just thought, oh, that's so funny. So people think like, is this grandma even there? Like, I think this is just like fake content. Cause you know, a lot of people fake their content, whatever. So this video of Wren standing outside this house, you can see the brick. Okay. You can see that like yellowish brick, whatever. I think it's yellow. There's a picture on the screen. And then I looked up Jacquelyn's name on the site that I've been using ever since I started doing commentary, found an address, and I had to confirm her age. So I said at the beginning she's 27, but it took me a little bit to find her age because she shares it. She shares her birth year. Like, you know, those videos of like, mom, this age, and it shows the year they're born, and then daughter, this age shows the year they're born. She did that. So then I figured out her age. So again, I'm going off everything she's sharing. I'm not doxing anybody. I'm literally just going off what she's sharing. So then I found her age, and then I saw the address. And then I looked up the address, because you can look up like land records. So I've done this for every like case or influencer I've like deep dived into, basically. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. Like even for Kiara, I looked up her address. I was going to share it, but I just didn't do it. But it's funny. Anyways, so I looked up the address, and then I saw that her mom. So her mom's name is Karen, spelled Keryn. Funny. So that's her name. So her mom's name is Karen. And then I saw there was like a DOA thing. So I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then I saw, sorry, I have to go close my door. My kids are coming back from their walk. Sorry, stay-at-home mom, as I said. My husband took the kids for a walk so I could film this. So that's just the reality of this. Okay. So then I saw there was a DOA. I think it was like I thought it was DOA. So then I looked it up and I saw that Karen's husband died, who is Jacquelyn's dad. He died. His name is Gerald. He died in 2004. Okay. And so anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself there. So he died. So her dad died, right? When she was young. She was a kid. I think she was like 10. I don't know. No. 10 years ago, 17. Her dad died when she was 17, which is very sad. So then, no, her dad died when she was 7. Do I even know math? Her dad died when she was 7. Even sadder. Okay. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. He died suddenly. They didn't share the cause, which people never share the cause in obituaries for obvious reasons. So then I saw the address from that land records to confirm that that was the address that Jacquelyn had on that one website. And then I looked up the address on Google. I'll block the address. Looked at the address on Google, and it's the exact same freaking house that Wren is standing in front of. And this is the address that Jacquelyn's registered to. And then when I look back at the videos that Jacquelyn shares of her daughter and her, it doesn't look like an apartment. It actually looks like a bedroom that she made kind of look into an apartment. She put a couch in there, there's a bed in there, whatever. She made it look like it. Maybe put like a counter or like a desk thing that was high. She lives with her mom. So then everyone's saying like Jacquelyn this, like all this responsibility. Well, she lives with her mother. So these outfit things are, her mom is involved. Her mom is heavily involved in my mind. This is all just my assumption, just going off like this little bit of information. I could be wrong, but from what it looks like, her mom is heavily involved in this with her, which is messed up, right? So messed up. And then when I looked in the obituary, it says, so the language is very weird. Okay, so the weird thing on the obituary with her dad is that it says, he and Karen spent their lives together raising their children and being foster parents to many needy children over the years. Now, when I think of foster parents, one of my aunts is a foster parent. When I think of foster parents, they never say needy children. They say children in need. Language matters here. So I think, okay, Jacquelyn's exploiting her child and like disgustingly. And then people are thinking that she's involved as in she's doing this on purpose for those sick freaks, that she might be a sick freak herself because she's like dead in the eyes. You saw her apology. She looks dead in the eyes. So then I'm thinking her mom is a foster parent. There are 1,000 trillion million amazing foster parents, but think Turpin sisters. There's also very bad foster parents. So is her mom a bad foster parent? Is she learning this from her mother? Who knows how deep this could actually go? So I think this is, I think this is a lot deeper than we even know. And then if you look at the obituary, Karen, it says he is survived, as in Gerald, Jacquelyn's dad, is survived by Karen and his 14 children. Now, that could be some foster children. But then Jacquelyn also has 13 siblings. Why the frick isn't anyone calling her out on her BS? It looks from the outside, when you just see the story, you see commentary channels talking about it and TikTokers talking about it, you think, okay, single mom, she must, like, even a lot of the comments say, she must not have any family in her life, she must be, like all these assumptions. No, this is wrong. She has a lot of family in her life. I found a video on her mom's Twitter of like a wedding. They have a lot of family. They have a lot of family around them. To have 13 siblings, you have a lot of family around you. And she lives with her mom. This is fudged up, okay? This is so mental that a child can be this disgustingly exploited, like in a nasty, there's a lot of words I can't say, but in a adult manner. It's messed up. It's not good. It is so wrong. This is even deeper than any of us have ever even known, or really will ever know, but to see how many people are actually in her life, this is crazy. And then you can also think, okay, so she has all this family in her life, but still maybe this is like the only way she can make it. If she's not paying for bills, she probably lives with her mom probably pays her own bills. Like, it's not just about, it's about the money. It's obviously about the money. But Jacquelyn, I'll go a little bit into her schooling so you can know a little bit more about her. Sorry, it spills all over the place. It's just how my brain works. I make an outline and then my brain's like, nope, you're not going to do that. You're just going to do what I tell you to do. So I'm going to go into a little bit more about Jacquelyn. Okay, so the thing I want to talk about is also in the comments, people say, where's the dad? You know, because she's a single mom, whatever. This is my theory on the whole thing. So Jacquelyn took nursing at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. So she graduated in 2020 during COVID, like through the internet kind of thing, like she had a mask on, blah, whatever the stuff. There's a lot of pictures of her graduating. I can insert her TikTok where she says, like, how my mom thought I was going to graduate, how I did graduate, you know, whatever. So in 2015, I found a picture that Jacquelyn was part of Pi Beta Pi. She's a sorority girl. And now I don't know how long she was in it. I assume you'd be kicked out of a sorority if you got pregnant, but I don't know. Maybe they're just like progressed in their ways. I'm just kind of going on. Don't make fun of me, but Legally Blonde. Okay. I watched a lot of Legally Blonde. I loved that movie growing up. You know, Elle Woods, beautiful girl, goes and becomes a lawyer, beats the odds. She's in a sport, you know, like, I love that movie. So knock me if you want, but I love that movie. So I think kind of like Elle Woods, you know, but then I think, okay, trying to think about that movie. And I'm like, if someone got pregnant, I feel like they'd be kicked out, but then also they're your sister, you know, like sisters, you know, whatever. But then I was looking, and sororities often go with fraternities, like they have parties together, blah, blah, blah. I think that Jacquelyn, this is my little assumption, that she got pregnant by a sorority. Not sorority, a fraternity brother. And they do a lot of parties together, whatever. I try to find more pictures of her. I like scoured their whole Instagram, not Wren and Jacquelyn's, but the sorority and the university. I couldn't find any other pictures other than the one that I would have already put on the screen. But that's my assumption, is that she, I don't know, maybe he had like a big future and didn't want, he's a jerk, or she partied. But based on the calculation of when she had her daughter, I'm not going to share her daughter's birthday, but it appears she got pregnant in the summer. So did she get pregnant? She probably got pregnant in the summer just before her final year of university. But so like, good for her for completing university, you know, graduating still. She has education. She can go be a nurse. I don't know if she's still actively a nurse. I saw a TikToker share that she does have an active nursing license. So she must be working, but maybe not much. Maybe she wasn't able to get much work, you know? Yeah, I think the money is too good. You know, you can make a lot of money on TikTok. I was going to share this in a different video, but I want to share it here about how much people actually make on TikTok. They make a crap ton. We don't have the creator beta fund, whatever, in Canada. We've never had it. I think it's like just like the UK and the US, and there's like a couple other places, but like Australia doesn't have it. I don't think New Zealand has it. Like a lot of places don't have it, but you can make a crap ton on TikTok. Like people make a lot, you know, they try to play it down, but for the level of work you have to put in, like, yes, to be consistent. So I'm not like dogging them, you know, whatever, but like short form content is easier to make than long form content. And it's also just like, you're able to be like a little bit more creative, I feel like, because it's just such a short video. But, This is why, like, once I saw how much you can make on TikTok, like when you're a part of the beta fund, it makes sense that people are so freaking money hungry. And then also it makes sense that there's so many people who are just like massive on TikTok because they have the motivation to post very often as long as you're consistent enough. Like I shared consistency in another video, as that consistency is rewarded by all these algorithms, you know? So like example, like even on YouTube, if I'm not consistent, they're not going to put me on the recommended page, right? But if I'm at least posting once a week, they will. So I'm going to share for you how much people actually make on TikTok, just so you can see, because a lot of people don't know. So I'm going to share a bunch of videos, and I found it really interesting, and it like really opened my eyes to the world of TikTok and why most of them are all American on TikTok. Honestly, like I feel like most of TikTok is like American and like people from the UK. So I'll share what I found.
This is how much TikTok paid me for 42 million views. And keep in mind, I'm just a normal person with a phone. I don't have a big production company. I literally just have people edit videos for me. So how do I get these views? I post news as a fish, 10.3 million views on that one, 3.8 on this one, you get the gist. And from there, TikTok pays me. Last month, it was $10,627 with 17.6 million qualified views with a 60-cent RPM.
She's still mentioning the money behind it. So we're gonna see how much she's making. In just a span of 2 months, I just calculated her highest viewed videos, which was over 57 million. In the beta program, you get paid every 1,000 views, so you divide that by 1,000, you get 57,000. And we're gonna multiply it by an RPM of 30 cents. That just means you get 30 cents every 1,000 views. The RPM changes for every single video and every single creator. I've seen it as high as $2 and as low as 20 cents. So today we're gonna do 30 just to estimate it. So just on a few videos in 2 months, she got $17,000 just in the beta program.
Okay, so we know that the money is where it's at, okay? The money drives these people, like as in like the mommy vloggers, to just keep doing this. And in my personal opinion, so I'm going to share in a future video, but in my personal opinion is that, you know what, whatever. Family vlogging is a lazy way to do content. I was trying to be like a mom type vlogger without showing my kids, and it didn't work for me, you know, and also people want to see your children, so then you don't do as good. So then I went into commentary, which feels more natural to me and it's not easy. Okay, doing commentary is not easy. Yeah, it's to find all this stuff, but especially doing deep dives is not easy. It takes a lot of work. I think being a mom vlogger is so easy, and I think that these people lack any sort of talent. If they're using their kids for content, they don't have anything. They don't have a personality. In my mind, like this is all my opinion, you know, but I think being a family vlogger, a mom vlogger is lazy content. Absolutely lazy. Just because you can link things and use your kids for content doesn't mean you're good at what you do. You're lazy. So try taking your kids out of your content and then show me, because there's a lot of creators out there who have taken their kids off because they know the dangers of social media, and they're doing amazing. Because why? Because they're creative. They actually have what it takes to showcase their own personality, their own life, still be a mom and show it, but without using your kids. And there's also people who there's tons of content out there. Okay, I'm going to insert some creators. There's one that just went viral. I like her. I only saw one video, but because she said she did IVF, and I empathize with that because I also did IVF to have my children. And I know what that's like to want to show them off and be like, look world, look at my miracle. But I'll just play for you her video so you can see the perspective of someone who's massive on TikTok and why she took her child off and it's not going to show her anymore.
My husband and I came to a decision today that we're no longer going to show our daughter Seven's face anymore. You're probably wondering why, but you know, we've had a long talk about this, and I just feel like we live in a very disgusting world, and it's so sad because I spent 5 years trying to get pregnant, and I did 2 rounds of IVF, and I had low eggs, and like the chances of me getting pregnant were so minimal. So I was so proud to show off my miracle baby and just, you know, show our daily lives and everything that we're doing in such an innocent way. And yet there are so many gross people out there, and the saves on my videos just keep getting higher and higher. And I get messages every day about her, and there's people saying, I am in love with your baby. Literally sending me messages saying this. I get comments and messages saying, hey, I wish your daughter will one day marry my son. They're around the same age. Like, it's gotten too much. And this is only the bare minimum. I'm not even going to go into detail about other messages I've got or comments or just shares and people following. I have an Instagram I made for her, and it's private, and I have over 600 friend requests in her inbox from men. And she's not even 1 year old. She is a baby. It is so disgusting. And I can't take it anymore. And every time I post a picture or a video of her, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, what is going to happen with this video? And then if you just take away the disgusting people in the world, there are also a huge issue with AI. And I don't even know the gist of that. Like, I don't even know where that's going to go. I don't even really understand what AI is, but it scares me and I don't like it. And I just have come to the point where I feel more comfortable not showing her face anymore. And it's really sad because I'm so proud of her and I want so badly just to share my pride and joy.
So there are big creators who are willing to do this. And I think it's very important to know that it can be done. You just can't be lazy about it. You can't be, I don't know. I completely disagree with people using their kids for content. And there's really not much more to say about that other than that, because yeah, I think that there's not going to be a lot of changes until legislation comes into play. And I'm going to get into that in a moment here. But I think honestly, the only thing that's going to work for these people is shaming them and being like, calling them out on their BS and say, this is enough. You're being called out and you're ignoring it and you're putting your child in harm's way. Well, we're going to shame you now. Okay. So you're shamed. You can't do this. Someone has to protect these children. If their own parent is not going to, well, then strangers are going to have to protect them and say, get your daughter off the internet, So I'm going to go now into, I lost my train of thought, by the way. So before I shared that video, I was going to say something and I completely forgot. So sorry about that, but I'm going to go a moment here. Let me check my notes. I'm going to go into the legislation and what's changing the US. And I'm very happy for you Americans that things are changing. Well, what I want to do is I want to talk about states who are introducing new legislation. And it's really great. So before I get into this about sharing about the legislation, there's changes happening, I want to share this story from PBS. I'm going to have to change the voice because unfortunately I'm a small channel and I can't just play it word for word. I'm going to share with you what I can about this video. And in it, why I really like it too is because Brittany Baylin is highlighted. I did a video a while ago on Brittany Baylin taking her daughter off the internet. Unfortunately, she hasn't deleted her content because she says like once it's out there, it's out there. But I mean, her responsibility as a parent is to take her daughter off the internet. She should delete all her videos, but it also will take down her analytics and then she may get less sponsorships and whatever. So it is about money for her too. But she was highlighted in this and I really want to share about this because this is a new interview that happened 3 weeks ago, and I think it's very important. And then I'm going to get into the legislation, but I think it's really important to highlight creators who are taking their children off and who realized it, because I'm not just going to like hate on, I mean, it's good to hate on the people who are very bad parents, but when they change their ways, we do need to acknowledge that. So I'm going to insert that video for you now.
I always wanted to base my content around me. That's my whole point of it's centered around me, So when people are starting to center it around my daughter, that's when it got uncomfortable for me.
Smith scrubbed her social media of her daughter's face, even making content about the challenge of keeping a toddler out of her videos.
Back up.
When I first started doing it, like 12 people were seeing my videos. Things change when you gain more traction.
Content creator Menzie doesn't use her last name publicly, part of a strategy to protect her kids' identity, including where she embodies kids' perspectives.
Knock it off, I can't deal with this today.
I can't either, obviously. It is easier to show kids. It's easy to play on that parasocial relationship when other people feel bonded to your kid and they feel like they know your kid, they become that much more invested in your.
It was showing the highlights and the positive moments, and of course there is that, but I felt like more of just the real and the raw needed to be shared to help these moms not feel alone.
Last August, Baylin announced to her more than 500,000 subscribers that she would no longer show her 3-year-old daughter in her.
Okay, so in that video, we learned some really great things, and there's also a lot of legislation happening because of all these things happening and like things as an events of influencers taking their kids off. I know there's a lot of states that have legislation, but I'm just going to call out the ones that I know. I know Illinois has one where I believe it has to do with, they all have like a similar legislation. So I saw in the news though that they said that Illinois kind of set the precedence for it. But from what I know, California did. Okay. So there is a bill, Senate Bill 764, SB 764. It's called the Child Content Creators Act. So I want to chat about that. Okay. So in SB 764, it says that the Child Content Creator Rights Act would ensure content creators under the age of 18 would earn fair financial benefits from the use of their image. The bill includes financial compensation for child creators, children of influencers who are featured in online content, and those featured in family vlogs. The bill states that content creators who feature minors in at least 30% of their content must set aside proportionate percentage of their earnings in a trust for the minor to access when they reach adulthood. It also requires the child to be paid for profits generated by their likeness. That is basically that like rule of if they're featured in at least 30% that they have to be paid. That is basically the rule across all the states that have this legislation. And let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe there's like 8 or 9 states. I have 7 written down here, but I think there's 8 or 9 states that have legislation in place like that. And a lot of it is taking place in 2024. So I really feel like 2024 is the year of goodbye child exploitation. And I think what would be better is if they just got children off and if you weren't allowed to use kids content at all, but they're trying to like get it from the pockets of the parents. I think because like, honestly, money drives the world and this content does really well. So I don't know if they're ever going to get rid of it, but they're trying to leave it in the hands of the parents. Okay, so that's California. And in Arizona, there's HB 2565, and it's just in the courts right now. They had their first read of the bill January 22nd, 2024. So just almost 3 months ago now. So yeah, this is for Arizona. Did I say that? I really hope I said that. So this is the same one. It says that a vlogger shall compensate a minor child if at least 30% of the vlogger's compensated video that has produced with a 30-day period and that met the name, likeness, or photograph of the vlogger's minor meets either of the following conditions: the number of views per video segment, blah, blah, blah. But most of them are that if the child is featured in 30% of the content, they must get 10 cents for every view, which is crazy if you think about it. So hopefully this is happening with children. Let me see if I can do the math on that. I'm not really good at math. Let's see. If I'm going to say a video has 30 million views, because a lot of these people get like tons of views like that. So 10 cents on 30 million views is $3 million. No, maybe it's 3,000. It says 3 million. I'm really bad at math. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, do your own math. If I can figure it out later, I'll put on the screen what the actual thing is. But sorry, I'm not the best at math. Okay, so anyways, they had their second read for that bill in Arizona the next day on January 23rd. So we'll see where that goes. And in Minnesota, theirs was introduced February 12th, 2024. So let's see what Minnesota says. Minnesota is the same, as that under the age of 18, if they are in 30% of the content, they must get 10 cents per view. So every view, oh yeah, so that would be $3 million in the other one. So 10 cents on every view, which is really crazy to think about, that they get 10 cents on every view. And that is really good. So let's say someone got like 500,000 views. How much money would they make? They would make $50,000. That's incredible. Good law. Awesome law. So if they're featured in 30% of the content, I'm sure people are going to try to get away from this, but then that child would get $50,000 for that. So it's not even like if they generate that income, is that per view? Sorry, I'm realizing this right now as recording this. It doesn't even matter how much money that video makes. If they got 500,000 views, that child would get $50,000. Way to go, legislation. You're amazing. And I hope, this is actually across all these states that I'm going to mention. I have 7 states on here, but they're doing this. So this is incredible. And I don't know how they can figure this out. Do they provide bank statements other than saying that's the law? How are they going to prove that this is in a trust for that child? Because again, sorry, I didn't say that. It has to go in a trust for the child. Also, Missouri has one. It's was introduced February 14th, 2023. Theirs is that they have the Mature Act, which means that a child has to be 16 to access social media on their own, not 13 like it currently is in most places. And they also have the Federal Social Media Research Act, which is just talking about the dangers of social media, like people who unalive themselves and stuff. But from what I see, they don't actually have that compensation plan that you're supposed to have. There is Ohio. Ohio has HB 376, which has been introduced January 10th, 2024. It's called the Kidfluencer Protection Act. And you have to have a trust account. I think this is the one that was amazing. Let me see. So Ohio is the bomb, okay? with their law here. This is amazing to me. Okay, buckle up. Okay. In their law that they introduced, the bill, sorry, that they've introduced, they say, theirs is like the most detailed, which is really incredible. They say, a person who qualified as a vlogging minor during any calendar year who has reached the age of 18 or been declared emancipated by a court of competent jurisdiction may request the permanent deletion of any vlog that includes the likeness, name, photograph of the person when that person was a minor from any online platform that provided compensation to the vlogger who published the vlog in question. Amazing, right? Like, I was like, what? I read that out to my husband. I was like, what? That's incredible. So when a child who's been a family vlogger, they can request and their parent has to delete everything they have of them online. Isn't that amazing that that even exists in Ohio? Like, way to go, Ohio. People need to follow your footsteps. They did like such a specific bill introduction. So I really hope it gets passed. I don't know if it's been passed. I don't think it has, but, and then Maryland they're proposing the same thing about if you're in 30% of the content, 10 cents per view. And then I'm sure it's Merlin. I don't even know how it's pronounced. I know it's pronounced differently. I'm not American. They're talking about the right to be forgotten. In the UK, there's something in 2014 where like anyone could request from Google to have everything of them online on Google erased. And I think when I last saw, like recently, it's been like, there's over 800,000 accounts that have been requested to be deleted. It's the right to be forgotten. That doesn't like the right to not be on the internet, which I think is really cool. And then the last one is Georgia. They have SB 351, which is having no social media without parental consent, like overall. So if you're under the age of 18, you can't have social media without parental consent. So the thing I want to mention about that right to be forgotten thing, sorry, I was like over it. But with the right to be forgotten, we often think about like as adults privacy, like my name on YouTube is Jessica Danielle. I used to put my last name on there. I don't anymore. It's not that it's like massive secret, but I don't want to be sharing it. And as adults, we want privacy online. Like we use a VPN, like we use all those things, right? Because we want privacy. But why do parents think it's their right then if they want privacy? Like they won't share themselves taking a number 2, but they'll film their child doing that, or their child in the bath. But would they film themselves in the bath? I mean, some would, but like if parents want so much like anonymous living online, like don't want to share much about their life, like I don't have to share that with you, going through my divorce, blah, 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 but they share all these things about their kids. Why? So like I said, in the UK, they have that right to be forgotten bill. I think children also deserve the right to be forgotten online. They don't need to be on there. We don't know the ramifications of all this stuff. I know there's crap I posted on social media when I was a kid, like on Facebook. Like I've deleted all my socials, but like I have like newer ones, but I permanently deleted everything. But like as in stuff like, I don't know, not like rude stuff, like never rude stuff about people like ever, but just like, emo type posts, like things I wouldn't really want people like looking at now and whatever, maybe like pictures that aren't as flattering of myself or whatever. Like I wouldn't want any of that stuff online. And I mean, I'm sure they live out in like the world somewhere and whatever it is, what it is. I've really never posted much that I'd be like so embarrassed of, but I mean, maybe I have, and I don't remember because like I said, as like a teenager, you don't know what you're posting. You don't have like, they say your like prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until you're 25. So I don't think maybe social media, no, that'd be not cool. But I was like, maybe social media shouldn't be allowed for anyone under the age of 25, but that'd be stupid. But I think that like I shared a couple times in this video, like once you know, and I think children deserve the right to privacy. And, Jacquelyn likes to use the argument of, this is her scrapbook, whatever. Well, if that's the case, then create a private account. You don't need strangers awing over your daughter. And, I know that pull. Like I have 2 children and I would love to share my children online. And I have in the past, like the back of their head and stuff like that, maybe slightly the side of their face. But I can't be like, look, here's my child. I just can't do that. I can't do it. For me, it's not worth it. Like I think about all like the what ifs, I don't think it's worth it. And I think it's like, I don't know, this ego thing. Like we need someone to stroke our ego and say like, our kids are so cute. And like, we know that they're cute. So let's just leave it at that. And take all the cute pictures and post it, send it to your family if you want. But just don't overshare your kids online. Just think about if that were you, would you want that posted about you? Would you want everything posted about what you eat? I mean, it's okay to post what you eat. But like, as in like, not what you eat. Would you want people to say like, oh, she was such a bee today and she's so on my nerves, blah, blah, blah. People share that about their kids, you know? It's like, would you want that shared about you? Would you want your partner, husband, wife, whoever, would you want them talking about you online the way that you talk about your children online? Because I don't know. I think we have to use our brains more. And if I know people don't want the law involved, and I do believe in like the right to make our own decisions in the world, but I think you have to think about your child's safety, you know? And so the government, I don't think will ever say that children can't be online. I think they are leaving the hands of the parents. And I think what they're doing is being smart and going after the money, because the reason our parents do this in the first place is because of money. So I hope that they have a way that they can prove that they put this money aside. I haven't seen anything online, honestly, about that. So I really hope that they do, because really that's the only way, is get to their pocket, right? So 10 cents on every view is insane. Like I shared on a 500,000 viewed channel or video, whatever, that would be $50,000. That's like absolutely incredible. If I've done the math right, I'm so sorry if I haven't, but I believe I've done it correct. That's a lot of money. And so that should be, that's like almost like what, 10% or something, if I did it right. Like that's crazy. It's crazy good. Like these children will be rolling in it in the future. Unfortunately, at the expense of having their life shared online. But I think great for these states, and it's all starting in 2024. And like I said, this is the year of goodbye child exploitation. So the parents might stop if they're losing more money, because they're going to lose a lot by having to put money away for their children. So I hope that this continues. I hope that other states follow suit, other countries follow suit, and these children get the lives that they just so desperately need, which is privacy, to just grow up and be kids, you know. There's a lot more happening behind the scenes that we don't know, like with Ruby Frankie and the crap she did with her children. Like, you just don't know what's actually happening behind the scenes. Like, these aren't necessarily the best parents, and we shouldn't be looking to them for anything at all. So yeah, that's really all I have for today's video. If you found that jumbled, that's just me, and I am what I am, and I'm done apologizing for who I am. If you don't like me, that's cool. Just find someone that you do like, because there's a lot of people who are cookie cutters of each other. So you can easily find that on YouTube or anywhere. So my next video I want to share is just like my own personal, just like sharing about social media and my own personal experience and why I've made the changes in my life. And if you find that interesting, cool. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, I have some exciting stuff happening. I had someone reach out to me, a production company, because I had if you've been on my channel for a while, I did a lot of deep diving into Jodi Hildebrandt. I had a production company reach out to me. I'm kind of like iffy on talking to them. I'm supposed to talk to them tomorrow, but I'm kind of iffy because she wants to talk for a while. And she's like, because you have a lot of content on Jodi, but it's like, I spent so much time on that. I'm not just going to give that information away for free. And if she's going to use my content, she can ask to use my content in their documentary, you know? So it's a company out of LA, which is pretty cool. But it means it felt really good to have someone reach out to me, because I know I'm good at what I do. Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm also not trying to down myself. Like, I know I'm good at my research, and to have an actual production company who's like worked with Netflix and stuff reach out to me about my research it feels really good. So I'm just going to keep being me, keep doing what I'm doing, which is the confidence boost I need to be like, I'm not going to apologize for who I am, because who I am is who I am. And I like making content. I like deep diving, and I do it my own way and the way that I want to. I can't be anyone else. I can only be me. So thank you so much for being here. If you're a regular viewer, thanks so much for being here. Please consider just liking this video and commenting. It helps to get a boost in the algorithm. Some videos don't do as well, because honestly, the algorithm is like a finicky bee. She will only work if people engage on your channel. So even if you don't like it, that honestly helps engagement too, and to get it boosted. So I appreciate those who subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, cool. I hope you do come back and watch my videos, even if you never subscribe. I appreciate the views that I get on my videos. So hope you guys are doing great. And I'm working on another Jodi video. I have a couple in the works, but it's going to take a little bit of time, because it's a little bit, you'll know once I share it why it's taking me a little bit longer to get this together. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day and you got through the time change well. Okay, bye guys.